What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today we got all kinds of good things to talk about. A few different things to touch on. You guys can hear Bruno. Here he comes. It's time to make a video. Here he comes. Hey, bud. Let's see if we can see what he's doing back there. Hey, what are you doing back there? Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah, okay. All right. So, a few things to touch on today. We've set the times at the Arnold Expo at the booths we're going to be at. We're going to be at the Isatori booth and the Tiger Fitness booth. Now, the Tiger Fitness booth, we're going to be at Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. There's some big thing happening at 4 o'clock p.m. at the Tiger Fitness booth. It's some kind of surprise that Mark has going on. And Isatori from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Now, before you guys, you can hear it already. Oh, Jerry, BioGrow, Isatori, we knew it. You're in cahoots with them. Here's what happened. Mark and I have a lot of the same viewers that subscribe to our channels and watch our channels. Now, what I did was contact Mark because he had his Tiger Fitness booth and ask him, say, hey, you know what? Is it cool if we come over to the Tiger Fitness booth and hang out for a while? Because of the fact that the Bios3 subscribers want to have a place to come see us, a lot of them watch both of our channels. And Mark was like, yeah, you know, that's actually pretty cool. Also, you can go to the Isatori booth. Let's talk to Steve. So I also spoke to Steve, who's the owner of Isatori, explained to him the situation. You know, Mark and I have a lot of the same subscribers. You know, we're trying to bring them all in the same place so we can meet up with them. It's a lot easier for everybody in general. Steve agreed. I am not getting paid to be at the Isatori booth. I'm not getting paid to be at the Tiger Fitness booth. I am not sponsored by either one of them. The Arnold is being paid out of my own pocket, okay? I'm not going to be wearing the Isatori clothing like the other sponsored athletes are going to be because I'm not sponsored by them. I'll be wearing what I want to wear there. And basically, Mark and Steve were both nice enough to let us go there so that we would have all a place to meet up, period. So I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not making money from them. I'm not out there promoting BioGrow because I work for the company. I use BioGrow. I tell people that I use BioGrow because I'm asked because I think it's a good product, okay? So that's all clear. We'll see you guys at the Arnold booths those days on Friday, Tiger Fitness 3 to 4:30, and Saturday, Isatori 1 to 3 p.m. Now, I'm getting some questions about, after I put up the video about how I don't do the big three. And they're like, well, Jerry, well, if you don't bench, well, what do you do for chest? I'm talking about the flat barbell bench. That's what I don't do anymore. I still do incline dumbbells. I don't really do incline bar. Anything with a bar puts a lot of pressure on that one side of the pec. It overloads one side because I have a screwed up shoulder on the right side. What are you doing over there? Licking your feet? Knock it off. A screwed up shoulder on the right side that as I push, it pushes faster than this one and overloads that pec. And that's what caused the injury in the first place. Using dumbbells, I don't get that. And again, I don't go super heavy anymore. I mean, I think the heaviest I've gone is like 90-pound incline dumbbell presses for like 10 to 12. I use a lot of machines because I can go to failure on machines and not have to worry about getting hurt. I like the hammer strength flat. I like the hammer strength wide grip, the hammer strength decline, the hammer strength incline. We also have a trotter machine that's a pin selector, which allows you to change the weights very easily if you're pyramiding up in weight. Like, I don't really do drop sets, so if you're pyramiding up in weight, you just pull the pin instead of getting up and putting the weights up. I mean, you get old, you get a little lazier. That's kind of how it is. So that's what I'm doing for chest. I mean, it's not that I don't train chest anymore. It's not like I'm doing flies and cable crossovers all day. I'm just not doing the flat barbell bench anymore. There's no reason to do it. If I do it now, which every time I go back to it and try it, I hurt myself again. There's no point. So I'm hoping to get my buddy Bobby on here at some point, who's had 2 full pec tears and a 3rd pec injury. Yeah, 2 full pec tears. He tore both sides of his pecs. Tore one, had surgery on it. Tore the other side, had surgery on it. And then actually had a pec injury benching again. Because he's a big bench guy, you know, and in your head it's hard to get away from that. So I'm going to try to get him on here at some point, and he'll explain what happened with him. But I also have a new form of training that I'm working with. Now, I was doing that pump front loading for a little bit until someone contacted me and said, hey, this is not new. Somebody figured this out a long time ago, and I don't remember who was doing it, but I think they said John Meadows does something similar to it. So, okay, that was nothing new. It was just something that I pieced together in my head, and apparently I was a day late and a dollar short because I figured it out after someone else did. So it's nothing new. But while I've been doing the occlusion training on my arms and legs, what I did was I figured the faster that you can get those fibers to fail, the faster you're going to stimulate growth. And then you can get out of the gym and let the muscle grow. So as per Lane Norton, he would train the muscle, do as many reps as you could till failure. Then they would stop and rest prescribed amount of reps. Prescribed amount of, seconds or minutes or whatever it is. Then do the next set to failure. Well, what I did was actually shorten those rest sets even more. So now what happens is I'll hit failure for, like, let's say I'm doing biceps. So I'll hit failure, and then I'll go, okay, take a few deep breaths, and then I'll see what I can squeeze out more, and take a few deep breaths, and see what I can squeeze out more, and take a few deep breaths, and then that final fourth one, when the bicep cannot move anymore, and it's to the point where it's a static rep, and that's screaming, now the set's done. I've hit complete failure, and it's positive failure, not positive, negative, and static failure. It's just positive failure, but it happens a little bit faster than if you let those rest periods go a little bit longer. So now I've been doing that for my arms as well as my legs with the occlusion training. So now in my head, it's working. I mean, it's plain and simple. You can see it clear as day. I'm not squatting or leg pressing anymore at all. And my legs look just as good as they always have, if not bigger and rounder. And my arms are 19 and a half, a little over 19 and a half, which they haven't been that big since I was like 270, and I'm like about 230 now. So it's working. So I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, is it the occlusion training or is it the actual fact that I'm hitting failure? Okay, I'm hitting complete muscular failure so fast, and then getting out of the gym and letting it recover. Could that possibly be the reason why it's working and not just the occlusion training? So if you remember, or if any of you guys know, Mike Menser had this theory, and I don't know, who he applied it to, or if he even applied it or what, but had this theory that eventually you could get it down to like a 10-minute workout like every 2 weeks. And I think he was playing with that with himself for a little while, playing with that on himself and his brother for a little while, and he was getting results. But it was a very specific, know your body, know recovery rates, and having to be able to mentally put the intensity into the set to get the body to fail like that. I mean, it's painful, it sucks, it's hard, it's short, but it's very, very difficult. And by the time you're done, you feel like you trained for an hour, and it's only been 15 minutes. So I said, all right, let me try, to do the same thing for body parts that I, without occlusion training, the same type of training. So the other day I did back. So what I did was my seated chest supported rows, one arm, and I cranked out as many as I could possibly get, and then I rested for a second, took a few deep breaths, and what happens is you don't actually put the weight down, you leave tension on the muscle. A few deep breaths, and crank out as many more as you can get with the same weight. A few deep breaths, crank out a few more, a few deep breaths, and so each time you're hitting failure, you take a couple of breaths, so it's like rest, pause, but with higher reps. Actual rest, pause training is you do one rep, rack it, take a few deep breaths, unrack it, do another one, rack it. That's true rest, pause training. Now, this would be a higher rep, rest, pause with a lighter weight. And is it going to work? We're going to see. It's either the occlusion training itself or this type of training that I've been doing for my arms and legs. So I'm going to apply it now to my chest, back, shoulders, every other body part, and see what happens. So this is the new experiment that's going on. I don't have a name for it. It's I don't know. It's just a high intensity failure training kind of rest pause hybrid. I don't know what to fucking call it. And if you guys get a name for it, throw it up there and let's see, what we can name this thing. But I'm going to try that for the next, 4 to 6 weeks and see what happens with that. So I'll keep you guys posted on the new type of training that I'm inventing or trying out or whatever the fuck I'm doing with it. So also, one last thing. A lot of people are contacting me for the Bios3 t-shirts. We are ordering more. It's been a while. We just unloaded the last couple of the Breast Cancer Association ones, my breast cancer awareness shirts, which now we'll be making the donation to the Breast Cancer Fund or the American Cancer Society or whatever it was. And we'll reorder the Bios3 Battalion Tribute shirts. We're going to stay with the black and red. Those have been the most popular. I really like the black with the red letters. It looks really sharp. It's two of my favorite colors. So we're going to stay with those. We're ordering more. They'll be in soon. They'll definitely be in time for FitCon if you guys are going out there. And we're also going to have a new t-shirt, the Ethos t-shirt. So when it comes out, I'll show it to you guys so you can see what it looks like. It's going to be something a little bit different, though. Okay? So we'll see you guys at the Arnold about 2 weeks. bios3training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bios3training.com is the blog, and we'll see you at the Arnold bicep, and we're out.